Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic, and I've got some really interesting information that came through my dowsing today, and I wanted to share it with you. And we're going to finish it off with a free healing too. Okay, now this is regarding ascension. Okay, and I get this question a lot from a lot of people. What is my Dharma? What is my purpose to be here? And if we could say a single purpose or Dharma for all of us here, is that, and what we have in common is for us to ascend, okay? Because it's a universal law that each consciousness must ascend. And you probably heard it so many times through my videos, but it really is needed, okay? We need to ascend, which is all about growing and evolving forward on an individual level. For me, every day, becoming a better version of myself, okay? Bringing more of my light here, embodying more of my light here. You know, with a previous video we did, talking about there's the human aspect of ourselves, but the true identity is the immortal or infinite consciousness aspect of me, and we need to bring that light here. And we know that there's only one way that energy comes through here and where we go through, and that is through the heart space, nowhere else. Okay, so that is where it is. That's where everything's at, is in that heart space. We call that the sacred heart. So the information that came through today, this is what it said exactly. Previous ascensions, because ascension is a cyclic phenomena. It's like a window where each realm that a part of our consciousness exists within, we could call that reality, realm, dimension, density, is again is revolving or evolving in a cyclic nature, a vortex, right? And there is a period or window where there is convergence of all those realms where they overlap each other. We call that ascension. It gives you a greater connection to your true identity, your infinite consciousness, where each part of your consciousness can align into one. So it's not, this oneness is not about a collective, it's a oneness about you connecting to your true identity and seeing yourself for who you really are. And we are currently in that convergence, okay? All of us on an individual level. So what it said was, in previous ascensions, when we had this window, this convergence, it did not work as we were being mind-orientated and not heart-centered. And as I just mentioned, the only connection to our higher aspects of self is through the heart, not through the mind. So when we're here, we disconnect with our true identity. And we keep living through our false identity, which is just to be human, okay? So, because at the core of us, we are infinite consciousness. We are not human, okay? So, what it also said was, this made us vulnerable when we're in the mind. Because when we're in the mind and we're disconnected from ourself, this is where the auric field comes into it. The auric field is fluctuating all the time, in and out. Okay, when we're in the mind, it shrinks in. When we're in the heart, it expands out, just like the lungs when you're breathing in and out, right? And I guess that there is some relevance with that, with the breathing. How many times do we go to a meditative practice and we're told to focus on the breath, controlling breathing as well, right? So it's a symbolic nature of your auric field. Okay, so when you're in the mind and you shut down the connection to your higher aspects of self, your light, your auric field shrinks in, and there's more room for other consciousness to take that void, that space, and they control you. So the way that they're saying here is, when you're mind orientated, and where we've gone wrong in previous ascensions, is it's made us vulnerable to other consciousnesses. And the way they said it was, where other consciousness hack you just like you are a computer program. Okay? A virus. Okay? So interesting stuff. So straight away, that's telling us that, hacked like a computer program, we are living a simulated reality. Okay, and if you followed me for a wee while, you understand that we've been talking about this for a while. Okay, and interesting with a virus, what are we doing? What are we in the midst of now? COVID-19. It's a virus, right? Where else do we see viruses? On computers, on programming. It's clear to see. Now, it's not about just the virus. It's about a response to it, and we're going to get to that. Again, I wanted to make sure this video is short, but you know what? I go on tangents, don't I? But I want you to have the knowing, the understanding of what I'm trying to say here. Okay? So, with our auric field, when we're through our heart, we bring all the light that comes from all the other different realms and realities, which are parts of you, because they are your higher selves. And the key word is self, because it's you. Your source self divides that origin, that genesis. Genesis means consciousness, because the genesis of everything here is consciousness. It's consciousness. Okay, the physical aspect of everything here can only be here if it's bound to a consciousness. Okay, so we bring all that light here and we shine it out and we expand the auric field. So more of this plane of reality, this reality that you are creating, we are all creators of reality. We can create that reality when we're in the heart space, because more of that reality becomes your field. Okay? So when we're in the mind, we become vulnerable to other consciousness. And what happens with previous ascensions, we got hacked like a computer program by a virus. Okay, as I say, we are in the midst of COVID-19, okay? But I keep being told that COVID-19 was always going to happen, it has to happen, okay? Now, the way we respond to that, okay, so a virus is a program that stops you from ascending. But how do we get out of this? How do we ascend? Where in previous ascensions, where did we go wrong? And where we need to go right this time. It's how we are responding to this current situation of COVID-19, of a virus. Okay? It's not to fight it. Okay? Because fighting it, you go in here. You don't go here. There's no fighting when you go into the heart space. Only here. Okay? Just like a test. It's how we respond to it. It always has been that way. You are going to have challenges in your life to learn something from. Okay? But you only have perception that is a good thing, that you're learning or creating experience from that when you're here, not here. Okay? So, and the way to ascend is to be here, heart-centered, which is neutrality. And at the moment, this is the big push at the moment. A lot of fear, duality is trying to be purged out. And neutrality is really knocking on the door. It's trying to force itself in. Okay? And if you want to be part of a roller coaster ride, well, you continually to resist this shift where you step up and rise above currently the situation we have here. If you're going to resist that, and a lot of people are, they're still fighting through duality, well, I tell you, you're going to have a bit of a roller coaster ride. For the people that are surrendering themselves to neutrality, then you're gonna ascend. You are going to be the people that are going to ascend, because that's how we ascend. Okay, it's not to fight, but to surrender to self and just forgive everything. Okay, it's not about fighting. It's not about who's right, who's wrong. Who's the winner out of this? Who's the loser out of this? It's about forgiving everything and surrendering yourself to this new energy coming through, which is neutrality through the heart space. Because that neutrality field is you, bringing more your light here, embodying it here. And it's through your actions. It's through your response. Okay? But it's doing it through love, not fear. And hence creating through love, not fear. The world that we've had up to this point has been created through the mind, and no wonder it's the way it is. But the way we've been responding through it, through duality, is still through the mind. That's not the way you fix it. The way you fix it is having the awareness to learn from the lesson and rise above it through the heart space and shifting out of duality into neutrality. Okay? And that's how we ascend and make it right this time. So what we're going to do is a free healing. Thank you for everybody watching and listening to this video. We are going to do a clearing that is in regards to ascension and your consciousness. Okay? So here we go. We are going to use a tesseract, a hypercube. Okay? Because in this 3D reality, or what we see with our own eyes, is that it is very much in line or connected to time. And for the mind to come and intervene and push you off track, time is required. As we ascend and go into neutrality through the heart, we place ourselves by living in the now and the present, which doesn't allow time to come in and therefore the mind to intervene to push you off track. So through the heart space, living your life in the now and the moment, you escape time. Okay? The tesseract is a symbolism of 4D geometry. And in the 4D and beyond, time is not required. So you can understand how this geometry connects to ascension, but also to the heart space, living your life in the now and the present, where you escape from time and don't allow the mind to intervene and the mind to take over here. Okay, so here we go. For everybody watching and listening to this video, for every single one of the people watching and listening, to their consciousness, ascend true, please. Ascend true. Using the tesseract, the hypercube, please. For everybody watching and listening to this video, for their consciousness, ascend true. Out of duality into neutrality, please. Ascend true. Right. So that's complete. And if you ever have the awareness that you feel like you're slipping out and you're feeling stressed out, stress is a validation that you're up here and not here. Okay? Come back to this video. Listen to these principles. Take in the healing. And I'd love to hear your comments below. Best of luck. Bye.